rheumatism, so I don't think it had anything to do with his weight. But
okay.
he was only 50, only 50.
And he was he was very underrated, I think.
Oh God, yeah. He is having a resurgence now, though, because people like us, when you hear him, you want to tell everybody how hilarious he is. If there is a joke about food, he's going to tell it. I just have to say that same monologue, he said that they went with a skinny guy and the guy died because of so much food.
I love too later on in that
Italy.
In that same one when he says, I don't speak much Italian, but I know how to say feed me, I'm hungry. Sono affamato. Hey, look at you, sono affamato. Luigi, come here. Let's say it again. Sono affamato. So funny.
And they feed him before he orders.
Yeah.
No, you can't have a menu. We have to feed you first.
And he starts sweating. He cries a little bit. You know, he was in the I want to make sure I get this right. He was in the series, the Netflix series of The Punisher. You know, the Punisher. It's a
really?
Marvel comic thing. He and another guy are in an apartment together, and he lives through it. He lives through the thing. But I was like, oh my God, that's John Panette. So anyway, that was for you because you brought him up last week.
You're so adorable. Thank you for that. I was looking forward to it too.
Well, we love it, you know. Then I said to Ken, I said, should we play it for her? She's on the phone. Why are you on the phone? Where are you going? You going to meet John Zemerick, have a little brunch or what?
No. We're on a road trip, actually.
Nice, fun.
I cannot tell you where because we're going to go through several states. We're on a road trip in anticipation of the 4th of July. We decided to take a road trip, and I am sitting as we speak in a McDonald's with really good reception.
Nice.
And it's totally empty here, and you can't even tell. And this is really fun. Really fun. And when I'm done with this is my last gig, and the rest of the time will be on vacation.
Oh, well, thanks for squeezing us into your busy schedule.
Well, I look forward to it. But,
Sono affamato.
We're probably going to have McDonald's for breakfast.
Okay.
The other thing Panette says is, get out of the line.
Yeah. And the Chinese all-you-can-eat buffet. Hey, bigger boy, no eat here no more.
You eat broccoli. You're so big.
You're so big.
You go now.
You go now.
Oh my God, Karen.
And you know what? He has a beautiful tenor voice.
Does to sing? You mean?
Yeah, he has a great tenor voice.
Man.
And he did impressions in his earlier. I'm sorry, I'm going on and on. He did impressions. When I like somebody, I research him.
Yeah, me too. I didn't do it with him, I guess, but yeah. All right. Enough comedy.
Anyway,
let's get serious here. I am so disgusted right now, okay? Because the White House, Karine Jean-Pierre, says that Joe Biden walking away from the main attraction, which was the guy who just landed in a parachute right in front of him, and he wanders away. That was a cheap fake. They made up a new word for their crap. Cheap fake. And now CBS News adds edited video. Not like it's not real video when they show that video.
And it's not edited.
It's not edited.
And you know what that is? It's a cheap fake.
Yeah, right. Exactly right.
Well, we're calling
their edited video is a cheap fake.
And Karen, I think I heard it on Dan Bongino's show. He's calling it laptopping.
What's that?
Yeah, what is that?
Well, that's like when back in the laptop days, they said it was fake news, right?
Oh,
so
Hunter's laptop. Yeah,
Hunter's laptop. So if you're laptopping, that means you're promoting fake news, basically.
And I've been saying since they said it was a cheap fake, why don't you call Giorgia Meloni, right, the new prime minister of Italy, and ask her how fake that video was? You know,
it's don't believe your lying eyes. Don't trust yourself. We'll tell you what to think. We'll tell you what to believe. And, there are still idiots who believe them. But for the most part, there's an awful lot of people who are saying, yeah, right. And I'm tall and blonde, right?
Yeah.
Give me a break.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I say anyway.
No, I hear you. It's true. And, I mean, it really is sad in some regards and embarrassing that another world leader has to lead him around by the hand And what does that say to our enemies? What kind of message are we sending to our enemies?
It shows what his handlers in this country think of all of us, think of America, and think of the presidency itself, that they would try to pass off this presidential potted plant, this vegetable, as a world leader. They're getting away with it to let you know just how little they think of America. Yeah. It's appalling.
Meanwhile, Putin flies into Pyongyang to sit down and have dinner with Kim Jong-un. So now they're going to we're not keeping our eye on the ball, Karen. You know what I'm saying?
Either that, or that's exactly what these people who hate America want.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate to say it. It's as obvious as the nose on our faces. What is happening is what they want to happen. What they did is what they wanted to do. That's the part that bothers me, is when people can't see. It's kind of in your own life in a kind of an esoteric way. You pretty much, except for the stuff you have no control over, you put in your life what you want in your life. Everything that's happening is exactly what they want to happen.
Yep. And
the ramifications of that, what that says about who they are, is more chilling than anything else, isn't it?
It sure is. And, not to go a step further, but to point out again something we pointed. No. The Democrats are great at circling the wagons, and we're just not. We're just not good at it.
Just see how they. I'm sorry.
Go. That's why I asked.
See how they parade George Clooney, who, his wife is just a piece of work, and Julia Roberts standing there. Everything is appearances with them. Nothing is real. It's all about the show. That's why Hollywood and the left are like this, as they say, yep. Italians say. Yep. They're like this.
Thick as thieves.
It's thick as thieves you are. Because it's not about reality. It's about the reality that they want to spoon feed us. Yep. And honestly, it's the show. They take these photo ops so they can have a picture of Biden and Clooney and Julia Roberts. Like, what do they have on them? Mm-hmm. I guess they don't have much because they're morons to begin with. But it is, again, it's all for show. And they keep doing it even though it doesn't work as well as it used to.
Right.
Because they're never going to admit it doesn't work.
Right.
It's a trying time.
So
that's why we need people like John Panette.
That's right.
More of them.
And when you said thick as thieves they are, that was Shawshank Redemption, right? That was Shawshank Redemption reference?
Exactly.
I got you,
Great
baby.
Movie.
We are on the same page
Great
all the time.
Movie.
So what we have to do, I don't want to spend too much more time on this because I want to bring up one other thing. But new videos now, if people are out, if conservative people are out and see something that happened like at that event where Obama had to lead him away, we need two different angles, two different videos from two different angles and say, cheap fake this.
Yeah, I'm hoping, and it only takes a certain smart person to be able to turn that around the way Let's Go Brandon was turned around. Right. And then they backed off of it.
Right.
The whole idea of fake news was their idea, and Trump turned it on them way back when.
Yep.
They were trying to turn that to their advantage, and then they backed off the fake news idea because it was used against them. That's what we need. We need to use those kinds of tactics because that's what they do.
Well, Karen, think about when back in the laptop time and the Russia collusion days, we didn't do much of anything to combat that, and they actually got their way with it. This time, we can't allow that to happen.
That's what I'm saying, Ken. We got to circle the wagons.
Yeah, we really do, and we need a strategy. I mean, the people that understand rhetoric and understand mass, not just mass psychosis, but mass persuasion, because people are being lulled, not all, obviously, into this. They just read the headline, they just look at the picture, and they believe they know what's real. They never check it out.
Right. All right. Very quickly, this story, because we only have like a minute left. A union representing more than 70,000 commercial pilots has suggested changing words like cockpit to be more sensitive to women and LGBTQ plus employees. I mean, what are they saying, guys, in the cockpit just because they have roosters?
Yeah, and how contradictory is that to the idea that gender is fluid and we don't know what a woman is anyway? So why are they trying to not offend women when they don't know what one is?
Correct.
The whole thing is psychosis,
Yeah.
I tell you.
Yeah, I tell you right back.
You know?
Yeah.
And we got to just keep saying it, you know?
Yeah.
We got to say it because otherwise, I don't know, it's something like what they did in 1984. If you keep repeating it long enough, you're going to believe it. Don't believe it. It's garbage.
Joseph Goebbels.
Yep, Joseph Goebbels, exactly.
Yeah.
And if the Democrats go in power again in 2024 and through 2025 and beyond, Karen, it's going to be like this on a daily basis. They're going to be doing this stuff every single day.
I just can't.
Well, I shudder to think what else they will do that they have planned. They already have planned it a whole lot. They're always like years ahead of us in what they're planning to do once they've, secured power. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't either.
What I was going to say is we have to think both micro and macro. Micro meaning to live every moment, every day to the fullest, because these are unprecedented times. Never thought I'd live to see times like these ever. Did you?
I go, no. And I go to bed very angry. I hate that. I hate going to bed angry. I listen to things they say and the things that just aren't true. They accuse us of saying things that aren't true. I just get so angry. All right, that's enough of that. I want you to enjoy
and you're being honest about it. It's painful to be angry, but you're honest at least.
I try.
So as long as you keep being honest, that is half the battle.
One thing I'll tell you that's completely 100% honest. Sono affumato.
Manja.
That's I'm hungry. And then it says if I'm starving to death, that's morte de fame. All right.
I'm going to die if you don't feed me now.
Right. Karen, have a great vacation. I guess we'll talk to you sometime in the future.
You will. And thank you so much. Love you both.
Love you too.
Bye, Karen. Have fun.
Karen Kataline. I love that she loves John Pinette.
I know. Great.
And he was completely underrated because when people talk about comedians, they talk about so many things, especially with all the new great comedians coming up like Sebastian Maniscalco and Nate Bargatze.
Yeah.
I mean, why don't more people talk about John Pinette?
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Where's breakfast?
I know exactly what you're saying.
All right. When we get back, it's careening into the abyss. Oh, my God. Golden edition next on 101.9 and 94.1 News Talk STL. Number one for live and local conservative talk.
Watch us on our live stream using Rumble, Facebook, and Twitter. You're listening to the Vic Porcelli Show.
Smitty Werbin Jagerman Jensen.
True international average of pressure.
Smitty Werbin Jagerman Jensen.
I mean, as you involve our institution.
I just.
She knows so long as she was.
Made in St. Louis for St. Louis. It's News Talk STL. News Talk STL.
First thing in the morning and pretty much all day.
Live and local. 101.9 and 94.1 News Talk STL.
Are you even thinking about getting new windows? Tim Jones here to tell you need to call Window World. They're simply the best for less. 314-993-1800. One of only 2 window companies in the country that carry the coveted Good Housekeeping seal of approval. Carrying a lifetime warranty covering all parts, glass breakage, and labor. Incredibly durable, incredibly beautiful, incredibly thermally efficient. For the first time ever, Window World offering 36 months, same as cash financing with approved credit. Any questions? Free in-home estimate, 314-993-1800, 314-993-1800, windowworld.com, windowworld.com.
Is your retirement income at risk if you or your spouse needs nursing home or in-home care? Hi, I'm Eric Robert, Director of Investments with the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel and host of On the Money, Saturday mornings at 9 on News Talk STL 101.9. The cost of long-term care is one of the biggest risks in retirement planning. For many retirees, a single nursing home stay can cause a significant reduction in assets that can permanently reduce your retirement income. Fortunately, there are affordable and flexible options available today that can help you manage the cost of long-term care. Our team can help you address the risks relevant to your retirement, including long-term care. To schedule your free retirement plan consultation, go to clearpathinvesting.com. That's clearpathinvesting.com, or call us at 636-695-2650. That's clearpathinvesting.com or 636-695-2650. Stifel Nicholas and Company Incorporated, member SIPC and NYSE.
Feel the sizzling heat of summer savings at Seidenstricker Novi Partners. Rev up your summer on a John Deere compact tractor with 0% financing for 84 months with zero down. Or get 0% financing for 60 months with additional savings. It's time to elevate your equipment game. Don't let this sizzling hot deal slip away. Seidenstricker Novi, your partner for the land.
Offer valid through 7/26/2024. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
Free speech is alive and well in America.
So what's going on?
Right here.
To me, this looks like the run-up to World War II.
News Talk STL.
They're playing with fire.
Democrats are destroying the country.
News, analysis, opinion.
Bush.
Talk lines are open now at 314-912-1019. The Vic Porcelli Show.
Tough and smart, and I love Italian, so, he's definitely Italian.
On News Talk STL.
Sono afformato. That means I'm hungry, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Sono, I am. Afformato, hungry. Sono afformato.
Now, how long did it take you to learn that?
Watching John Panette first time.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I don't speak Italian, you know. I know a few words here and there, and I didn't learn like I should have. My father wanted me to take Spanish, because believe it or not, I was in the smart class. What are you laughing at?
Now wait a minute.
Why is that funny?
You were sitting there waiting for me to say something, and then you just were ready to fire. Boom.
That's what comedy's all about.
Why?
That's what comedy's
all about. Why are you
about.
laughing?
So I begged my father to let me take Italian, Nope. Spanish is going to be the second language in this country. Take Spanish. Oh, man. So Spanish, he was right. Didn't do me any good, right?
Right.
And if I had taken Italian, surrounded by Italians,
you'd be using it right now.
Fluent in Italian. And it's funny when you're Italian, the old school people, especially the guys, they love to tell a story, especially if their kids in the room, they'll tell a joke or a story. They go, yeah, so the guy was really mad, and he comes back, and we're all listening. Yeah, what did he say? And he says, "What about the cazzo do?" I'm like, well, what, why? Why can't you just tell?
Just do it.
And then none of us knew the punchlines of that. Anyway, and I just said a really bad phrase there, Italian. I'm so sorry. Let's get out of this, Ken. Relax, Kenny, relax.
And now on the Vic Porcelli Show, the peaceful, relaxing sounds of careening into the abyss.
Yes, it is. Double Doit Thursday. Careening into the abyss. And our press secretary for the president. Robespierre, just going to say that. Wait, what are you saying? No, it's not. What is it?
It's Karine Jean-Pierre.
Sono afformato.
Yes, that's it.
So we have to start off with the biggest one of the week, maybe the year, maybe of the entire presidency.
Yeah.
Donald Trump is not disabled like Joe Biden is. And I say disabled in a wide-ranging, can't speak, can't walk, can't talk, right? Okay. Ken, careen me.
I think you're right. I think there is so much misinformation, disinformation, as we've been talking about. You talked about the video of the president wandering, and it's not true, right? The president wasn't wandering. He was talking to a parachuter that was right in front of him. And what you saw is the Republican Party really manipulating what was being said and what was being seen by the American people. It's also very insulting to the folks the viewers who are watching it. And so we believe we have to call that out. We've been calling it cheap fakes. That is something that came directly from the media outlets and calling it that, the fact checkers and calling it that. And so we're certainly going to be really clear about that as well.
She makes my head hurt. I swear to God. The media didn't make up that phrase. They made up that phrase. Karine Jean-Pierre was the first person that said cheap fake.
Yeah.
Before the media did.
Right. And we're not using that whatever that is.
Lie number one. Lie number two. Joe Biden may have been talking to other parachuters, but a parachuter landed right in front of his face. It's not like he had to walk 50 yards to go see the guy who landed, the main attraction, right? The main event, the guy who landed right there. And he turns around, oh, okay, hi, yeah, thumbs up. And then Giorgia Meloni, Italian prime minister, has to go get him and bring him back. And they're calling that a cheap fake, like it didn't happen. I mean, what are they trying to say, Ken? And
she said that it's very insulting to the American people to be suggesting that. You know what's insulting to the American people?
What's that, Ken?
Is when you tell them what they're seeing is not true. Vic, can we go into this a little bit deeper?
Yeah,
because
man.
There were a group of G7 leaders standing there. They were all looking in the same direction. The man landed right in front of them. Joe Biden decided, you know what, I really don't know why I'm doing this, so I'm just going to turn around here. And the guys that he was talking to, by the way, they were stuffing their parachutes. Do you know how much focus that takes to do that so you don't die?
No.
Well, it takes a lot.
Yeah.
And they probably weren't in the mood to be talking to anyone, especially a leader from the free world.
Yep.
So therefore, he's going off and doing this. And you mentioned it, the Prime Minister of Italy, Meloni, she sees this and she starts to meander her way, working her way strategically toward Biden, knowing that this is going on. I believe personally that this was suggested by people in the United States, his handlers, to say, look, we can't be there. You have got to take care of this man. He's going to turn away. And when he does, you've got to work your way over there somehow and get him back on focus.
And I think Meloni did it very kindly. She didn't say, look at this guy. You know what I mean? She just kind of, like you said, meandered over a little bit. Like, oh, Joe, why don't you come over here and see what we're looking at,
Because we're all here looking at the thing we should be.
Now, here's another question about all that. Did they ever take a video of Trump and mishandle it and then put it out as the truth when it clearly was not?
Constantly.
Every day when he was president.
Every single day.
Every day.
And then let's go to real quick, if we're going to talk about this, let's talk about the one where Barack Obama, during his fundraiser in LA, he grabbed his hand. Yeah. Now, I don't know what you were looking at, Vic, and I was looking on the stage and I saw from different angles Joe Biden standing there frozen. And then Barack Obama noticed it. And this took a period of about 10 to 12 seconds, probably, went over and grabbed the leader of the free world's hand, his puppet, the puppet master to the puppet, and then let him off stage.
Like he was a 3-year-old. I mean, he didn't just bump him on the arm, because Obama also is such a narcissist. He has to let everybody know that he's in charge,
right,
without saying that he's in charge. So he could have went over and put his hand on Joe's shoulder, right? Here's Joe. And then, kind of turned him with his arm around Joe, but he didn't do that, did he? He took him by the hand and said, okay, old man, let's go.
Could you imagine if Donald Trump standing there and someone grabbed his hand? You know what he would have done? He would have pushed his hand away and said, hey, I'm not finished here.
Yeah.
But that's not what he did, because he knew Joe Biden, the moment he felt his hand on his hand, would have said, oh, okay, I guess I've got to go this way because the puppet master said so.
Yeah. All right. I had enough.
So mad. I'm sorry.
That's why we do this, Kenny. That's why we do this. It's therapy for us. Okay. Another big topic of the week, mass amnesty. Ken, Karine me.
You heard it directly from the president today, right? He talked about who we are as a country. He talked about the importance of putting forth legal pathways, but at the same time, securing our border. If you think about the announcement that he made today, it's about protecting American citizens, American families.
Ken, you have relatives who came here from Wales, didn't you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Did they come across the proper way?
Yeah.
Did they follow all the rules, take the test, raise their hand, the oath?
Every bit of it, yeah.
Okay. My grandparents both did that too. I remember we were so proud of both of our grandfathers because there was a plaque. I mean, there's plaques for everybody, but there's a plaque on the wall inside of Ellis Island with both of my grandfather's names on them.
That's awesome.
We were so proud of them.
Well, yeah.
Because my grandfather on my father's side, John Porcelli, he would say to me, I've been in this country for 50 years. I don't know 50 words of English. But he took the test and he became a citizen, right?
It's amazing.
My other grandfather had a hard time with English as well. Matter of fact, pasta bazool. Did you ever hear pasta bazool? You never heard of the dish pasta bazool?
No.
Oh, Kenny, I got to feed you. It's beans and little ditalini pasta and the sauce. It's just unbelievable. My grandfather would not allow us to say pasta bazool. We had to say pasta fagioli. So he was a little stubborn. He wanted to learn English, but he really didn't. He really wanted to be Italian. He loved being Italian. Some people love being Italian. And I don't know. The idiots who don't. Should we do another one?
Well, real quick on this.
Yes, I'm sorry. Did I skip right by the meat?
No, she was talking. Well, she was talking about the American families and how what we're doing every day is to try and keep the American family safe. Do you know how many dozens of people have been killed by illegal aliens so far? Just this last year. Okay, they're so busy taking care of the American people. Well, they're all dying.
Mm-hmm. And this mass amnesty thing is for one reason and one reason only, and that's to get votes. And they're just assuming that every one of these people are going to vote for him or a Democrat, when polls show Hispanics themselves are sick of this crap.
They are, yeah.
You know? All right, can we do one more?
Yeah.
All right, Ken, Karine me.
Today, President Biden will announce that the Department of Homeland Security will take action designed to help U.S. citizens with non-citizen spouses keep their families together. This new process will help certain non-citizen spouses and children apply for a lawful permanent residency, a status they are already eligible for without having to leave the country. Additionally, President Biden will announce that the administration will facilitate the employment visa process for those who have graduated from college and have a high-skilled job offer, including DACA recipients and other dreamers.
So this is the same topic, Ken. It's people who for 100 years or more have come to this country, did it the right way. So you know what I forgot to mention a second ago? What about people who have come to this country and are waiting in line? They are waiting for their chance to, take the test, raise their hand and say the oath. They just get shoved to the back of the line because they're not MS-13 members?
Yeah, they're shoved to the back of the line because they weren't able to sneak around the United States without being noticed for 10 years.
I don't know.
I mean, that's what it comes down to.
Yeah, it surely does. All right. That's all the time we have for Karining into the Abyss on Double Doy Thursday. Good morning. I'm Vic Porcelli. That genius over there, he is Ken Williams. Saving America 2024, the economy and the courts. Two experts on both of those topics, Joel Griffith and Zach Smith from the Heritage Foundation at the St. Charles Funny Bone. It's going to be a great setting for this, too.
Yeah.
It's so nice up there.
Yeah.
In St. Charles. It's happening June 25th. It is free, but we'd like to know you're coming, so please register for tickets at NewstalkSTL.com. And we just found out this morning that all the shows here at the station all get 5 minutes with the crowd.
Yeah.
So you and I will have to figure out something to say. Something intelligent and maybe funny.
Maybe. If it's you, it will be.
All right. Lots going on today. Porcelli's Deli today at 10:25 is going to be all about the Negro Leagues because of the game tonight at Rickwood Stadium in Birmingham. And we'll talk about it then, but just very briefly, why did we do that? Why did we have to get cheated as baseball fans to not see some great baseball players because they were black?
Yeah.
You know?
I know.
God. So that's coming up then. Nate Lucas at 10:05. And coming up next, and I think you and I said we're going to do something. I can't remember what that is, so I hope you remember as we go to break.
Yeah, I do.
On 101.9 and 94.1 News Talk STL, number one for live and local conservative talk.
Follow us on Rumble at News Talk STL. You're listening to the Vic Porcelli Show.
Most Americans are a $400 unexpected expense away from bankruptcy.
That's Bidenomics in action.
Made in St. Louis for St. Louis. It's News Talk STL.
On the next
Larry Connor's USA.
Big question, how will America beat China on the final frontier? Space,
That story and more.
Larry Connors USA. Now weeknights 6 until 8 on News Talk STL.
Stand and Fight with Nick Schroer.
Hey everyone, this is Nick Schroer from Stand and Fight. If you need tree removal, storm damage, repairs to trees, tree trimming, pruning, if your bushes are out of control, call River City Tree Service. Free quotes right now, 314-270-8071, 314-270-8071. Professional tree services performed by ISA certified arborists. Request your free quote at rivercitytreeservice.com.
Looking to get a new carpet, hardwood, or tile installed quickly and efficiently in your home? Look no further than Michael's Flooring Outlet. Michael's Flooring Outlet is a family-owned and operated business with a 30-year history of offering a diverse array of high-quality options in flooring. My parents and in-laws used Michael's to rip up their old carpet and replace it. They are both happy with the product and installation from Michael's. You can shop at one of their 3 locations in Creve Coeur, Darting Prairie, or St. Peters, or you can check them out at igotfloored.com. That's igotfloored.com.
Columbo and Katie.
Harrison County Board of Education is punishing and suspending 13-year-old girls from being able to compete in their sport because they didn't want to compete against a boy. Meanwhile, protesters violently taking over buildings and breaking the law and threatening violence, they're not being punished, but these 13-year-old girls are.
Tony Colombo, Katie Fitzpatrick. Weekdays at 2 on News Talk STL.
News Talk STL is proud to have Doug Voss of Safe Money Radio as part of our lineup each week. Doug has been a staple on St. Louis radio for many years as one of the leading financial experts in the area. Doug and Safe Money Radio is on 3 times every weekend, but in case you miss anything, you can check it all out at DougVossSafeMoneyRadio.com or call 844-676-SAFE. That's 844-676-7233. Doug Voss is a registered representative. Securities offered through DHL Securities, LLLP. Member FINRA and SIPC.
This hour, the Vic Porcelli Show, brought to you by Connor Roofing. You can count on Connor for all your roofing needs. Visit ConnorRoofing.com. That's CONNER Roofing.com. Talk lines are open now at 314-912-1019.
Wish.
You're listening to the Vic Porcelli Show.
She knows so long as this is denied, our freedom can never be secured.
Made in St. Louis for St. Louis. It's News Talk STL.
It's worse every day, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's one of the latest.
This song's about my dog. Lay down, Sally.
Sally Bones.
Rest here in my arms. I actually got a picture I'm going to put up of her snuggling with me, and that's going to be the caption. Lay down, Sally.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I like that.
She's such a great dog. Okay, so I want to say something about this radio station that, can back me up on this if you agree. If you don't, just tell them to say, shut up, fatty. People in this business, everybody thinks they're an expert, right?
Yeah.
There are people who haven't been in this business because they couldn't make it or whatever. They think they're experts, right?
Right.
So when we first signed on, nobody gave us a chance. Nobody said they're going to be successful, not one.
Right.
And here we are, 3 years later, kicking ass and taking names.
Right.
And really, truly is the most important conservative radio station around.
So far, I totally agree with you.
I'm not trying to say something you're going to disagree with. I'm trying to hope I'm right on everything. But and when we do things, we do it as a team, and Kenny and I, I couldn't do the show without him. And we have a great creative mind in Jim Modulin.
Yes.
He's the voice you hear that you just heard him say, News Talk STL. And he's on the Jardie Instant Musical commercial too. So Kenny and I wake up this morning and there's an email from Jim Modulin. And anytime there's an email from Jim Modulin, it's like the new show on TV or the new thing you gotta hear. You can't miss it, right? So Kenny and I wake up to an email from Jim Modulin, and this was in the email.
Way too truth over facts. If you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black. We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women are created by the go. You know that they are got hairy legs that turn blonde in the sun. Whoosh! That corn pop was a bad dude. I love when kids jump on my lap. Let's go, Brandon, dog-faced pony soldier. I cut the national debt so far and still got all those other things did. Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
Whoosh.
We're gonna mobilize, tune in a nation all of that for sure. I'm not joking. Whoosh! 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 Whoosh!
Whoosh.
Whoosh.
So that was Jim Modrum. And I just want to say that Ken and I, we're doing this show, and we had a plan, you and I, to do this show in a different way than anybody does any kind of radio,
Right,
talk radio, right? Because, you tune into, the AM talk station here in town.
Yeah.
And some guy talks for 3 hours. And I don't even remember what he said half the time because I fell asleep during the first part of what he said.
Within 2 minutes, yeah.
Exactly. You're done. So Ken and I wanted to do some different stuff. And Ken and I both do not like Joe Biden. So Ken started finding things that Joe Biden just can't seem to say. Sometimes easy little phrases that he can't say. Beyond all the none of that is true part, right?
Right. Yeah, this is all beyond that.
His uncle got eaten by cannibals, and he was arrested protesting with Nelson Mandela.
And
Ange, the Amtrak guy, Joey. I mean,
you can go down the list. It would take us 2 hours to even identify all of them.
The pathological lying is one thing, but when he can't speak, right? Like whoosh, Ken has made whoosh part of the vernacular of this radio station's listening audience. There's a promo that runs on the station where the guy goes, "I'm just driving around being entertained." Oh, he goes, "Good morning," and whoosh. Just driving around being entertained by Vic and Thunder Stealing Ken. Do you have the whole whoosh thing? So this is how, in case you're just tuning in, if you've come over from the Soros station, this is the whole thing that Joe Biden. This is not a cheap fake, by the way.
No. In fact, let me say something about that because I'm the one who clips these together. I will never clip something together for you that is not true. In other words, I will not take a full statement by Joe Biden and clip it to where it sounds stupid. I will never do that. If it's the whole thing or none, that's what you're getting. And these clips that you're hearing, I didn't, modify them. Now, when I add SpongeBob or something like that, yes, I am adding them to that clip, but I'm never shrinking something, speeding it up, or changing his voice in any way, shape, or form.
And it would be easy to do any of those things you just said.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
And we don't. We play it exactly like he said it. So one day early on, this was back at the old place.
Yep.
Joe said this.
If that's what is whoosh.
That is a Woody says whoosh.
I have Biden go bedly whoosh. I don't know what he was saying there, but then I heard that and I thought, man, whoosh is cool though.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to admit, I don't know what he said there, but whoosh is pretty cool.
Katie lost her mind when she heard that for the first time.
Right.
There's a lot of times when we do stuff, Katie would be like, "Oh my God," like the boy yoing. She loves that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she's funny when she says the boy yoing. She just goes boy yoing.
Right.
Where I go full boy yoing.
Well, I mean, and these things he's doing more and more as we go along. And there are sometimes things that just stick out that you don't realize that it is funny until you put it in that context. And you mentioned Katie. This is the last thing that we played that she really, really thought was cute.
As President Lincoln said.
Now, he did say something after that, but that doesn't matter.
No.
I didn't shrink it. I didn't speed it up.
Yep.
I just cut off the end because it was funny. That part was funny to me.
And the thing about it is, the left loves to do that to Republican senators, congressmen, presidents. And the one example I always bring up, even though I don't like him, is Mitt Romney when he was running for president. And he made the statement, well, I'm not really concerned about the poor people because they have the safety net of welfare. And of course, when the press ran that, they just ran, I don't care about poor people.
Right. Now that is devious.
Right.
That is actually
We're just doing it to
manipulation.
have fun.
Right. And I would never do that, by the way, to Joe Biden or anyone. I wouldn't say, hey, guess what he said? Because in fact, you've corrected me. I didn't hear a clip and someone actually did cut it like that. I showed you and you said, well, that's not all what he said, though.
Right.
And this was about a Democrat. And I said, oh, okay, well, then we're not using it.
Well, yeah. I mean, we try to be fair. It's tough. It's tough to be fair because I will also say again for the millionth time that we are biased and everyone in this country is biased.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why when you hear, oh, it's a nonpartisan blue ribbon committee or whatever they say,
God.
they're because they tried to say that the J6 committee was bipartisan because Liz Cheney and Adam Kinzinger were on it, and they're Republicans. Well, that's not how it works. The original.
Immediately, I was thinking about that when you said that.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, and the original two Republicans that were supposed to be on the J6 committee were Jim Jordan and Jim Banks, and they wouldn't let him be on.
And why is that?
Well, because they would support Donald Trump,
Right.
not, dogpile on Donald Trump.
Yeah.
By the way, can I say something very quickly? It's got nothing to do with anything.
Yeah.
I'm sure we're going to hear about this break, and this break was worthless, guys. If you tune into our latest Vic Porcelli's Deli Uncensored,
right,
it's all about losing pets, right? Because Rudy ran away.
Yeah, Rudy ran away, and it was life changing for that day.
It's heartbreaking that because your head has to say, I'm never going to find him. He's dead. This is terrible, right? The girls are going to cry. It's going to be terrible.
Yeah, and by the way, real quick, keep your thought.
Yeah.
Okay. But by the
Good
way,
luck.
I want a public service announcement to everybody. If you lose your pet, if they get out like Rudy did, Rudy was a runner, man. He ran about probably a half mile away and realized he was lost. So we got on the following morning real early, and Shelly, one of our listeners and a friend of mine, suggested that we go to Nextdoor, that app.
Yep.
And so we posted on there and Facebook and a bunch of others. But Nextdoor, a woman within the hour said, hey, here is this him? And took a picture of him. It was Rudy. I rushed over and he almost collapsed. He was so scared and everything, but we got him. We got him back.
So I asked, Ken said in the process of telling me this whole thing, he said, yeah, he was slobbering. Is that
Oh,
what slobbering?
yeah, it was, yeah.
So I said, oh, he was geebing.
Right. Yeah, I didn't know what that was.
Yeah, good, because that's the whole point of what I'm talking about. I said, was he geebing? That's the term we use for slobbering in my house.
Okay.
Why
is that?
I don't know. We made it up, I guess.
Okay.
We tried to we were going to come up with a list, but we didn't get too far. Because when Ken and I did a thing on the Uncensored show about how married couples have their own language.
Yeah.
And that was like, we call the remote control the banger,
Yeah.
That's not really that banger could be a word,
Right.
But geeb is not a word.
When you said that, I thought, well, maybe it's Italian.
Nope. Jessica looked it up. Not there.
Nothing.
Not a word. Because when we take Sally in the car, she geebs all over it. And Jessica had to buy this mat. It's like a rubber mat.
Yeah.
So when she geebs, at least doesn't go on the seat. And so Mia was sitting at the kitchen table with her boyfriend, and she said to her boyfriend, she said, "Did you ever hear that word geeb?" He's like, "What? What's the word? Geeb?" And he says, "No, I haven't." And so we looked it up, and we clearly are. We're the only people who say geeb.
So you're wordsmiths. You're creating words.
Yeah, I just think we're idiots, really. I don't think there's anything else to it than we're just idiots.
You have a family vernacular.
So here's another thing, another word I made up. When Mia and her boyfriend are in the kitchen and they start smooching,
yeah,
I say, no smooching in the kitchen.
Right.
So I was in the living room and they were in the kitchen and they were smooching. So I said, okay, you know what I got for you guys?
What is that?
It's a smoochometer. Whenever it senses smooching in the kitchen, it goes off. It's a smoochometer.
Looks like a radioactive device or radiation detector.
All right, well, don't give it away. It's a smoochometer.
Okay.
Yeah, it's actually Geiger counter. But whenever they start smooching, I play that. And my daughter just wants to kill me, absolutely kill me. So yeah, there's that. What else was I going to say about them? I don't know. I'll think about some of that. Can we check the chat box for a little bit?
Yeah.
Get a little structure into this show. Chat box music. What do you want to do with this song?
I'm actually working on something with Joe Biden, actually.
With the actual...
He's helping me with it.
Freezing cold and Juzo.
Yeah.
All right. Good song, right?
Yeah, yeah.
The words don't mean anything.
No.
Total.
But that's so appropriate for what I'm doing. I watched the video, by the way.
And?
It's funny.
Right.
Because the guy's saying something, and you're like, well, what is he saying? He's not saying anything.
Because he's Italian, you think he might be speaking in Italian or another language. Complete gibberish.
But it sounds English.
Yeah. But to make a point that people don't say anything anymore.
Right.
You know what I mean? They
Yeah.
just talk and nothing really, they're not really saying anything.
So that gave me the idea to put Joe in that spot instead of him.
Okay. What's the ETA on that?
Probably about after the weekend.
Freezing cold and Juzo. All right. All right. Scotty, our favorite Navy chief. I just chose Facebook. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Says, good morning, gents and fellow Vic Heads. Have a blessed day, everyone. GMVH. Enjoy your trip, Karen. Good morning, freedom fighting Vic Heads. What is insulting to us is KJP, Karine Jean-Pierre, wanted us to believe videos of the resident in chief are faked.
That's a smack in the face right there.
And more so that the media latched onto that and said, well, this is not real video. This is edited video or altered video. Good morning. Good Thursday morning, freedom fighters from Tom. Whoosh. Speaking of whoosh, freedom fighting Vic Heads, 214 days until the end of the era. I love that freedom fighters have caught on.
Yeah.
And we always invite you to watch our stream. Don't miss all the handsomeness here. And right in the smack in the middle on the bottom, it says freedom fighters. And there's Vic and Ken in our Revolutionary War uniforms, military uniforms. Man. So happy for you guys and Rudy. Shelly's happy that Rudy.
Yeah, thanks, Shelly. Shelly actually helped find him. So
you just said that a little while ago.
Yeah.
Are you saying I'm too old to remember what you're saying?
No, you're good.
God, you pick on me all the time. Pledge allegiance to the flag that says America. No for accent.
No peace.
No for election.
No peace.
Hey, Karen, how you doing? Ken, who did the pledge today? It was Quentin, our buddy Quentin.
You.
They're insulting our intelligence. They think we can get it and they can get away with it. Let's not let that happen.
Right.
Voter too big to rig.
Yep.
Change the terms. Subliminal indoctrination. Cockpit. Birthing person. Best song of the last 5 years. What is? What? Oh, the Biden song. I think. Yeah. Was that Quentin? No, it wasn't Quentin singing, but he did do the 40-gram battery.
No, it was Joe Biden. Those are clips of Joe Biden.
The boy yoing is valid with any even number of boys. Oh, okay. So boy yoing, as long as you even numbers, you're good. I'll be right back.
Hey, Columbo here for the Cleaning Pros at Zero Res. Summertime in St. Louis means things like family gatherings, barbecues, and graduation parties, and Zero Res knows how important it is to have your home as clean and healthy as possible for your friends and family, so they're kicking off summer with an amazing offer. Book a cleaning in June and mention the Columbo special, and you'll get 3 rooms of carpet cleaned starting at just $129. Plus, you can take $50 off an air duct cleaning. Just mention the Columbo special when you call 314-474-2020 or when you book online at ZeroResSTL.com.
1949, the last time a Republican held the top post in St. Louis City. A gallon of milk was 84 cents, and streetcars ran down Grand Avenue. The city was booming. Unfortunately, St. Louis city streets are no longer the epicenter of family and business life. In the 80 years of Democrat control, our city has been on a steady decline. St. Louis City Republicans believe it is our duty to provide a different path forward. Learn more at stlouisrepublicans.com.
Paid for by St. Louis City Republican Pat Curtis, Farber Treasurer.
Hit the links in style this season with NewstalkSTL's brand new golf polo and hat collection. Available exclusively at Sugar Creek Golf Course, located off Highway 30 in High Ridge. Our lightweight, moisture-wicking polos feature the NewstalkSTL logo, keeping you looking sharp and feeling comfortable all 18 holes. And don't forget the matching NewstalkSTL hats to keep the sun out of your eyes while you line up that winning putt. Get your NewstalkSTL gear today at Sugar Creek Golf Course off Highway 30 in High Ridge. Sundays at 5 on News Talk STL.
All your hard-earned tax dollars and mine are going to fund illegal aliens who come across the border penniless, jobless, skillless, and they're given a cell phone an identity, and a cash stipend every month.
Mark McCloskey on fire.
That beats your Social Security income if you should have the good nature to work your ass off your whole life and retire.
Mark McCloskey on fire. Sundays at 5 on News Talk STL.
Brought to you in part by Modern Weapon Systems in Fenton. KLGY HD3 Clayton, K270BW Belfast, KNBS Bowling Green. This is News Talk STL at 1019, 94.1, and always streaming at newstalkstl.com.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Greg Clugston in Washington. The 10 Commandments are heading to Louisiana schools.
Louisiana has become the first state to require that the 10 Commandments be displayed in every public school classroom. Republican Governor Jeff Landry signed the bill mandating the display on Wednesday. The GOP drafted legislation mandates that a poster-sized display of the 10 Commandments in large, easily readable font be required in all public classrooms, from kindergarten to state-funded universities. Proponents say the purpose of the measure is not solely religious, but that it has historical significance. Classrooms must display the 10 Commandments by the start of 2025. Keith Peters reporting.
Parts of Texas are getting pounded with rain from Tropical Storm Alberto. In New Mexico, authorities say wildfires have killed at least 2 people and damaged more than 1,400 structures. And more high temperatures are in store today from the southwest to the northeast as the heat wave continues. Russia hit Ukrainian energy facilities overnight, injuring 3 workers and damaging equipment.
It was, said Ukraine's largest private energy company, another difficult night. DTEK said one of its power plants had been seriously damaged, adding that it was the 7th large-scale Russian attack on its infrastructure in the last 3 months. It's called for Ukraine's air defenses to be strengthened urgently, saying that almost all the units it repaired last year had now again been damaged or destroyed. More Ukrainian citizens face rolling blackouts. Meanwhile, the European Union has agreed a 14th package of sanctions against Russia that's expected to be signed off on Monday.
Danny Eberhardt with the BBC. The Labor Department reports the number of Americans applying for unemployment benefits fell by 5,000 last week. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Government debt is now exploding by an unprecedented $1 trillion every 90 days. Think of that. It's a clear sign that our nation's finances are spinning out of control, and it's putting the savings of every one of you at risk. Hello, I'm Lance Wallnow, a news analyst and best-selling author and an evangelical leader. I'm deeply concerned about the impact this runaway debt is going to have on Christians like you who have worked hard to build your own nest egg for your family. To protect your financial future in these uncertain times, you need to diversify with something tangible and proven, like physical gold. That's why I recommend a gold IRA. To learn more, text FAITH to the number 989898, and my friends at Birch Gold Group will rush you a free info kit on how to move your IRA or 401k to physical precious metals, tax and penalty free. So don't wait. Just text the word FAITH to 989898 to get your free info kit on gold IRAs. Birch Gold Group is the only company I trust. There's no obligation. So text FAITH to 989898, and I pray this information helps you achieve prosperity and peace of mind.
This hour of News Talk STL brought to you by Chris Cooper and Serenity Wealth Management. Discover little-known strategies that could be the difference between choosing the care you deserve or having someone else decide it for you. Get a free copy of Chris's book at serenityltc.com. From the Michael's Flooring Outlet Weather Center.
Summer officially begins this afternoon, and we are bringing some summer solstice sizzle up to about 96 this afternoon with a top heat index of 99. Mostly sunny skies, a sticky evening too. We won't drop back below 90 until around 7 o'clock tonight, and then down to 76 early Friday. Now, Friday and Saturday look even hotter as highs inch closer to 100. Top heat index jumps to 103. Got some rain and storms quick in and quick out on Sunday morning. That's your first alert forecast. I'm meteorologist Matt Chambers.
Vic Porcelli.
Come on, you're Italian. You understand.
Every day is a busy day all of a sudden.
You talking to me? You talking to me?
Tough and smart, and I love Italian, so, he's definitely Italian.
At least I have this show to come and talk about it and let some stuff up.
What kind of a show are you guys putting on here today?
The Vic Porcelli Show.
Good morning. Hour number 2 ready to roll. I don't understand Democrats. I'm sorry, I don't. I'm looking at a poll. Who will win the upcoming debate? Democrats. Biden, 84%. They really think he's going to win a debate? What is he going to do in this debate, by the way? How is he going to handle this? Are they going to drug test him? Are they going to make sure he doesn't have a thing in his ear?
I hope they do it. I hope they do, but I don't think they will. I really don't think they will. Who's going to make them do that, Vic?
I don't know. And
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. We don't know how to. We don't know how to circle the wagons.
Right.
The Democrats know how to do that, always when they lie, and we just don't know how to get behind our people. Hakeem Jeffries, if I see his face on TV one more time saying MAGA extremists, I'm going to drive to D.C., punch him in the face, and then come back. I'm
You
kidding.
won't.
Okay,
You're
I'm kidding.
Right.
I don't need to see.
But this is a reminder that get out and vote and get ready to vote and help out in any way you can, because this is it right here in November.
All right, little baseball. Nate Lucas from NateLucas.com. Nate, how are you, baby?
Is this Vic Porcelli and Ken Williams?
I don't know.
I think
Are
so.
you a cop?
Haha, this is the FBI.
No, we don't know what you're talking about.
You cannot be MAGA extremists, or else you have to come with me.
You know, I use that line all the time. If I see somebody, they say, "Are you Vic Porcelli?" I'll say, "I don't know. Are you a cop?" And then they'll say no. So, yes, I'm there. So I was at the Quick Trip by my house one day, and these two county police officers were talking, and by the thing, and they hear me ordering, and the one cop looks at me and he says, "Are you Vic Porcelli?" I said, "I don't know. Are you a cop?" "Oh, wait, you are a cop." Am I in trouble? Anyway,
can I tell you, Quick Trips have figured it out.
Absolutely.
It's the best gas station in the land.
Yep.
Nothing is even comparable to Quick Trips. They have mastered the art of a gas station.
Totally agree with you.
Not to mention great iced tea.
Yeah.
Brewed iced tea.
The iced tea, and I'm an unsweetened guy, but they've got like 5 different kinds.
Yep.
And they've got the sweet kind if you like sweet tea. But their tea game is absolutely electric. Couldn't agree.
And their name really means something. You can go in there like rush hour, 7:00, and there's 20 people in line, and you turn around, you look at your watch, you look up, and you're next in line.
Right.
That's how quick. They
are the anti-DMV. You go to the DMV, and there can be one person in front of you, and it takes the sloths like 15 hours to hit a button.
Exactly
Quick Trip,
right.
man, they got like 9 different hands going at once.
Yeah.
All right. We're going to save a little bit of time at the end of this segment, Nate, because Porcelli's Deli is going to be all about it, but it's the game tonight at Rickwood Stadium in Birmingham. But we'll let you talk about that at the end. Right now, though, I want to talk about how done I am with people like Alejandro Mayorkas, okay? He was on CNN with, what's his name? The guy I hate.
Jim
Acosta. Jim Acosta. And they're talking about the murder of Rachel Morin and this illegal alien scumbag who killed her, and he couldn't remember her name. Oh, our hearts go out to the family of the person, the woman. I'm like, oh my God, you remember George Floyd's name though, don't you?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I thought you were going to play the clip. Yeah, it's disgusting. I mean, they won't. I mean, I haven't forgotten Laken Riley's name.
Right.
And I say kudos to Marjorie Taylor Greene for shouting it out at Biden's State of the Union address. Say her name. And he forgot her name, but he forgets everybody's name. So I guess it's not that shocking. But, I don't even understand how it's legal. Well, it's not legal what they're doing. They have flooded this country with tens of millions of illegal immigrants. And if you call it out, then suddenly you're now a xenophobe and you're a racist and you don't like the women and the children. No, I don't like Chinese nationalists occupying the United States of America. I don't like terrorists occupying the United States of America. I don't like the fact that we don't vet anyone who comes through our borders illegally. Why am I supposed to sit here and say, sure, come on into the country. We have no idea who you are. You're breaking the law, but guess what? You're fine. We know you're not going to show up at your court date. You're fine. We're going to give you amnesty. And guess what? Go stay at the luxury hotel on Fifth Avenue in New York, okay? You go do you. But then if I don't pay my stupid personal property tax bill, I get feds coming knocking down my door to shake my boots for $400. Screw you. And I think more people are going to start adopting that mindset of I am done paying this federal government my money when all they do is slap me in the face.
Ken?
I am just, I love what he's saying. I mean, it's kind of what I was going down the road, but I'll change paths a little bit because, hey, okay, we have a bunch of names that we have to remember because of all the things that are happening by illegal aliens, by the way, who are killing Americans now, and it's starting to ramp up. Nate, I tried to remember your name. But do you notice, Nate, that there are so many people coming in? You mentioned the Chinese, but there are from 160 countries coming into this country, and now it's starting to ramp up that people are getting injured and killed by illegal aliens almost on a daily basis now.
Yeah, this wasn't even a illegal alien. This was just a homeless person, but I'm now seeing that there's a 19-year-old kid who was at his fraternity at USC, and he looks outside his window and sees a homeless person breaking into his car. So what does he do? Like any grown adult male, he walks out there and confronts this homeless person. The 19-year-old happens to have a knife on him, and a confrontation ensues, and he ends up killing the guy. And you know who's charged with murder? Is the 19-year-old scholar.
Makes no sense.
The kid that had a bright future, nothing to do with this homeless person. That's how, if you live in one of these blue states, then you better be prepared to just understand that crime is now a part of your life. And if you try to defend yourself or your family in any regard, you're going to be the one that stands trial. And, not enough has been made of this former Marine in New York on that subway that was simply trying to protect people.
Yep.
And that fat-ass Alan Bragg charged him with manslaughter. I mean, it's sickening what these Soros DAs have done to the law and order in the United States of America. And it's all set up by a Biden cabinet that is absolutely unconstitutionally breaking our laws. And it stops this November.
So you mentioned the Chinese. Ken mentions the Chinese coming across the border in the hundreds of thousands, right? It's up
now. It's over 200,000.
200,000 Chinese coming to this country. Gordon Chang, who said on this very radio station that they are here for one reason and one reason only, to get the call from Xi Jinping, and they will go to work. And it might not be guns or bombs. It could be grid. It could be internet.
Water
it could
supply.
be electricity, water supply. So that's that. But we had on yesterday, I believe. Damn it, I had this in front of me and then I went away from it. We had on yesterday a guy named Charles Marino, who wrote a book called Terrorists on the Border and in Our Country. And I asked him, these 8 terrorists who came from the country Tajikistan, which I got to be honest with you, I never heard of the word Tajikistan until this incident happened. 8 of them were arrested as terrorists. They came up through the southern border. So it's not just Chinese. It's not just MS-13. It's every terrorist bad country in the world, Nate.
You guys should play that clip of when Trump was at a rally and he talks about the snake, and how ultimately he says, let me in. And they so casually are allowing all of these people in, knowing full well that eventually the snake is going to bite you. And unfortunately, for far too many people, the snake has bitten them and it's killed them. We've already discussed it. And yet I'm telling you, they don't care. That's why they can't remember any of their names. They honestly do not care about the safety of their constituents. They care more about getting illegal aliens in this country so that they can, basically steal the election and get all these illegal votes to stay in power. And if that comes at the expense of your safety, well, you be damned. You're an American. Screw you. You are nothing.
Nate,
and that's the elite power gap that we are currently enduring in this country, and it's sickening to think that people would actually behave like that. It's immoral.
You're absolutely right. And the poem about the snake is such a great metaphor, and the genius that he is, Ken Williams, has come up with it. So let's let people hear it.
So let's dedicate this to General Kelly, the Border Patrol, and the ICE agents for doing such an incredible job. Right? This was written by Al Wilson a long time ago. And I thought of it having to do with our borders and people coming in. And we know what we're going to have. We're going to have problems. we have to very, very carefully vet. We have to be smart. We have to be vigilant. So here it is, the snake. It's called the snake. On her way to work one morning, down the path along the lake, a tender-hearted woman saw a poor, half-frozen snake. His pretty-colored skin had been all frosted with the dew. Poor thing, she cried, I'll take you in, and I'll take care of you. The border. Take me in, O tender woman. Take me in, for heaven's sake. Take me in, O tender woman, sighed the vicious snake. She wrapped him up all cozy in a comforter of silk and laid him by her fireside with some honey and some milk. She hurried home from work that night, and as soon as she arrived, she found that pretty snake she'd taken in had been revived. Take me in, O tender woman. Take me in, for heaven's sake. Take me in, O tender woman, sighed that vicious snake. She clutched him to her bosom. You're so beautiful, she cried. But if I hadn't brought you in by now, oh heavens, you would have died. She stroked his pretty skin again and kissed him and held him tight. But instead of saying thank you, that snake gave her a vicious bite. Take me in, O tender woman. Take me in, for heaven's sake. Take me in, O tender woman, sighed the vicious snake. I have saved you, cried the woman, and you've bitten me, heavens, why? You know your bite is poisonous, and now I'm going to die. Oh, shut up, silly woman, said the reptile with a grin. You knew damn well I was a snake before you took me in.
There it is. There's the snake, Nate.
I mean, it's just so perfect. And the whole time I'm listening to that, I'm thinking, God, can you imagine Joe Biden trying to recite that?
Yes.
How many things would he just completely butcher within that 2-minute sequence?
And
was it the snake or was it Bo? Oh wait, was it the
You know the thing.
You know the thing. But
the thing, yeah.
He can't read things when he's reading things, right? Now,
yeah.
On the 27th, when he debates Trump, the rules, no pre-prepared notes, right?
Right.
When they have a commercial break, you can't leave the podium.
Right.
I mean, how's he going to handle that, Nate? How's that going to go?
It doesn't matter. He hasn't handled anything for 4 years.
You're right.
And didn't even campaign. You know, I'm getting a little concerned that Republicans seem to think that, like, oh, we're going to just have like an election in November and no one's going to vote for Joe Biden.
Right.
No, that's not how it's going to work. And they somehow found 81 million votes for Joe Biden, even though he didn't even run a presidential campaign. So, and yet, like, we're just clinging to the hope that somehow 2024 it's not going to get, cooked. I got to see it to believe it. The way that the polls look right now, I mean, it's hard to imagine that it's not going to be like a complete landslide. And if it is, it's going to be virtually impossible for them to rig it. But I hold my doubt, because you look at the hatred for this man, Donald J. Trump, and what won't they do to keep him out of power? Yep. I mean, I don't know. And it's like a mirror, okay? Everything that they accuse him of or MAGA extremists of doing, they are doing directly to us. And then they call us the domestic terrorists. It's quite the situation we got unfolding.
We call that Ed Stoit. Everything Democrats say, the opposite is true. There you go.
Yeah.
All right, Nate. Tonight, I guess this game replaces the Field of Dream games that they did, right? This is going to be at Rickwood Stadium in Birmingham, Alabama, where the Birmingham Black Barons played. Willie Mays, who just died a couple of days ago, played on the Barons for a short time. Just a couple of thoughts from you about Willie Mays and this game tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's unique. It's obviously ironic and somewhat sad, the passing of Willie Mays. Anybody, I guess, at the age of 93, you can't be totally shocked when they pass away. But there had been a joint statement from Willie Mays and the Giants acknowledging that he wasn't going to make the trek to Birmingham. And when you first read that statement, I mean, there's no insinuation that he was unhealthy or anything. And then you just sort of put the puzzle together and you think, okay, I mean, he's 93. I get it. He doesn't want to make the trek. But then to learn, like, within 12 hours of that statement that he died, I mean, it was just sort of shocking. And this guy was such an ambassador for the game. I mean, there are various pictures that have been going around of him, you know, after a game in street clothes and he's playing stickball in the streets. Like, I don't know. It's just pretty cool the way that he was able to grow the game. And, you know, when I was growing up, there were quite a few terrific, really good Hall of Fame caliber black baseball players. And I think one of the reasons that the game isn't what it once was is because they are desperately trying to get black kids to play baseball again, but it hasn't grown. And I think the game has suffered because of that. Some of the best players I grew up watching were black.
Yeah.
And so that's unfortunate, but, you know, I think it's cool. They're doing it for one game. You know, I'll be interested in it. I'll be more interested, of course, in the fact that this team is coming off 2 losses in a row to a terrible Miami Marlins team, and they're banged up. Arenado got hit by a pitch yesterday. Their starting pitcher, Kyle Gibson, got scratched. They don't even have an outfield. They're still without their starting catcher, who fractured his arm on a swing by a hitter. I mean, there are a lot of things, and the fact that they're still kind of right there in a national league that all the teams are seemingly around 500, it's somewhat, you know, to still be relevant is kind of cool. So hopefully they can get it done against the Giants.
Just to dovetail on something that you said about the Negro leagues, I'm just about black players. There was a Negro league because they weren't allowed to play in the major leagues. And how ripped off did baseball fans get back then when they didn't get to see some of the greatest players like Josh Gibson and Satchel Paige, you know, because they were black. I mean, it was just, I don't know, the whole thing was just ridiculous. So tonight, I'm sure you'll see a lot of that tonight. And Willie Mays, the catch, you know, the catch in the 1954 World Series?
Yeah.
That game was played at the Polo Grounds in New York. And by the way, that's the New York Giants, not the San Francisco Giants, because they still played in New York and then they moved to San Francisco. But that catch was in straightaway center field. And if you've ever seen an aerial shot of the Polo Grounds, holy God. I mean, you know why? Not a lot of home runs went to deep center field. They played polo on it. You know what I mean? It was far away. So that, I mean, he caught that ball probably about 425, maybe more feet away from the plate.
Yeah, and look at, if you let it play out, watch his throw into second base. He throws that thing on a string.
Yep.
I mean, it looks just like a flick of the wrist. I mean, he had incredible strength, and most of those old timers did. It's like shaking your grandfather's hand. They had that was a different strength than what these soy boys carry with themselves now.
And whenever he walked into a room, he said, "Say hey." That was his thing.
The say hey kid.
All right, Nate.
Love
thank
it.
you so much, buddy. We will talk again next week. Okay.
All right, cheers, guys. Have a great weekend.
Cheers.
See you, Nate. Cheers, buddy.
I think Nate's got some British blood in him.
A little bit.
He
Yeah.
was just cheers.
Sure.
That's what they always say. All right, listen. More on baseball. Major League Baseball, Negro Leagues, all next in Porcelli's Deli on 101.9 and 94.1 News Talk STL, #1 for live and local conservative talk.
Watch us on our live stream using Rumble, Facebook, and Twitter. You're listening to The Vic Porcelli Show.
The only reason the border is not secure is Donald Trump.
We have rescinded so many Trump immigration policies, it would take so much time to list them.
Made in St. Louis for St. Louis. It's News Talk STL.
So Chris Cooper from Serenity Wealth Management is a guy who, first of all, works so hard at what he's doing and also will work so hard for you in finding you tax-efficient solutions to the government getting in our face and, taking our money and wanting us to leave what we have after we pass away to them, instead of to your kids, or you don't want to leave your money to care communities because we didn't plan ahead for long-term care, which can hit us in the face with no warning. And he does it all in a great way. And I bring that up because tonight there is a Serenity Wealth Management monthly social, and it's happening right at their headquarters. Headquarters, is that a good word? Headquarters, which is at 2315 Technology Drive in O'Fallon. So get out there and meet Chris, see what he's got to say, have a couple of cocktails with him, and you'll see what I'm saying. He's a great guy. He knows what he's doing, and he will help you out. So if you want his new book, which is called Serenity Now Tax, the book is called The New Holistic Retirement. The place to get it is serenitynowtax.com. That's serenitynowtax.com. It's free. Get it. Serenity Now with Chris Cooper.
Investment advice offered through Fortis Capital Advisors.
Serenity Now!
Hey, it's Columbo for Capriotti's Sandwich Shop. Capriotti's is famous for setting themselves apart due to their dedication to superior quality and ingredients like slow-roasted, hand-pulled whole turkey and American Wagyu straight from Snake River Farms. That dedication to superior quality is evident from the very first bite into a Capriotti sandwich. Visit Capriotti's Sandwich Shop 7 days a week at the corner of Manchester and McKnight in Rock Hill, and get more info, including how to impress at your next event with their great catering at capriottis.com.
Boom Shack Fireworks in Pacific. Rock bottom prices. Take a look at boomshackfireworks.com. Boom Shack Fireworks in Pacific. Plus 15% off everything through June 23rd. Boomshackfireworks.com.
I'm Dr. TJ, owner of the Institute of Natural Health, co-owner of Optimal Nutraceuticals, and the host of Wellness 101. Wellness 101 is designed to cut through the nonsense and provide you common sense, science-based information regarding health and wellness. On the show, we discuss topics like thyroid health, gut health, hormone optimization, and many others. Our show airs Saturdays at 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. and Sundays at 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. right here on NewstalkSTL. For more information, visit us at inhstl.com. That's inhstl.com.
Columbo and Katie.
A busy news cycle and election season in full swing in Missouri. We'll talk to two men at the center of all of it Thursday. Secretary of State Jay Ashcroft joins us at 2:40 and Attorney General Andrew Bailey at 3:05.
Weekdays at 2 on Newstalk STL. Welcome to Porcelli's Deli.
Yes, very good. I'll have a Bloody Mary and a steak sandwich and a steak sandwich, please. Come on, go over here.
Ketchup. Where's the ketchup at? I bet the Chinese food here is terrible.
With Vic Porcelli.
He's a very strange young man.
He's an idiot. Porcelli's Deli is moved to 1019 and 94.1 Newstalk STL. Come on in. We're open. Have a seat. Vic will tell you a story.
Hi, come on in. Before we get into the deli, I want to remind you that from 8 till 10 p.m. Here on this radio station, where you're not allowed to cuss on this here radio, this show you're listening to right now will be rebroadcast tonight at 8 o'clock.
And every weeknight, yeah.
Every weeknight. And we're calling it Vic at Night. That's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Right? If you grew up with Nick at Night, this is Vic at Night. And don't panic, okay? I was going to send Nick Schroer made this really cool cartoon of me with sunglasses on, my gray hair, and smoking a cigarette, and Vic at Night. And what? You're not on the morning anymore? Yes, we are. Can't get rid of us that quickly, right?
Right. Correct.
Okay, so Porcelli's Deli tonight. Major League Baseball. First of all, can I say the Field of Dreams games that they did, I loved, absolutely loved. And the first year they did it, the players, when I saw the players come out of the cornfield and onto the field, I was like, oh my God, I got emotional, And now tonight they're playing at Rickwood Field in Birmingham, Alabama, which was it's a minor league park too, but it was basically a Negro League baseball stadium. And I want to talk a little bit about the Negro Leagues today because Willie Mays, who died a couple of days ago, came up through the Negro Leagues. Hank Aaron too came up through the Negro Leagues, and he was on the Birmingham Black Barons and played at Rickwood Stadium. And it's so sad that he died 2 days before this game. You know, he was not going to be at the game tonight. They announced that last week, like Nate said. But you know, I'm sure they'll do. I'm positive they'll do a great
tribute to him.
Yeah,
they will. Yeah,
remembrance
they'll
for
have
him.
to. Yeah,
because he really was something. So the Negro Leagues. So in case you don't know, I'm sure you do, there was a time in this country where black people were not allowed to play in Major League Baseball. 1947, April 15th, I believe, is the day that Jackie Robinson broke the color barrier with the Brooklyn Dodgers, and many guys never made it that far. You know, some of them did. Satchel Paige, actually in his 50s, pitched in the major leagues, but a lot of these guys never did. Willie Mays did, Hank Aaron did, and of course Jackie Robinson and some others, but not enough, you know. And
yeah, just real quick, could you imagine Satchel Paige if in his 20s and 30s?
Unhittable,
completely. Yeah.
So now, and I don't know how they did this, and I think I have some thoughts on this, but I'm not sure. Now they have put the Negro League statistics and the Major League Baseball statistics together. So if you look in the record books now, you'll see different stats than you saw before they made this decision. One of those stats that will be different will be a guy named Josh Gibson, who was a catcher, and he was an unbelievable hitter. So his single season, this is amazing numbers. His single season Major League batting average, Ken, was .466.
That's crazy.
In 1943. His lifetime career batting average, .372.
That's nuts.
I mean, the last guy to hit 400 in the major leagues was Ted Williams in 1941. And he, you know, that was a spectacular year. Think about it. Baseball is a sport where if you only get a hit 3 out of 10 times,
right,
you're a dangerous hitter. You're a 300 hitter.
Yeah.
Right?
As a pitcher, if I came across somebody with a 400-plus batting average, I'd be worried.
Yeah.
I'd really be worried.
Don't give him anything really good to hit.
Nothing.
Right.
No.
So here's another thing about Josh Gibson. He played, I guess his team played the New York, what were they? The New York Titans, maybe? I guess I should have had that ready for you. I'm so sorry. But he played on the New York team, and he played at Yankee Stadium. Now, just the major leagues, if you just take the stats of just Major League Baseball, no one has ever hit a ball, fair ball, out of Yankee Stadium. When I say out, I mean, you know how they hit it out of Wrigley and it bounces up to the apartments? Nobody ever hit a fair ball out of Yankee Stadium. Mickey Mantle hit the facade that goes across the top, but it didn't go out. Legend says that Josh Gibson did hit a home run out of Yankee Stadium. You know how many feet that is? That's got to be a 600-foot home run.
Easily, yeah.
So the Negro Leagues went on and they played, and they started, by the way, in 1889, because baseball, you know, Major League Baseball was doing their thing, and some of the players that came through, just amazing. All right, so I got to talk about this. Do you have a favorite baseball movie?
Oh, I'd say Field of Dreams would be one of the top.
My favorite baseball movie is the Bingo Long Traveling All-Stars and Motor Kings. Okay. It's a comedy. Okay. I don't want you to think there's any deep meaning to this. There is at the end. It's really cool at the end. And, you know, I guess some of the lessons it is, because in the movie, the Negro League players were treated badly by the black owners of these teams. You know?
Yeah.
They were greedy guys who just wanted to make money and didn't care about them. And so 9 guys started this team, the Bingo Long Traveling All-Stars and Motor Kings, and they would just barnstorm throughout the South. And they would just play teams that played in those parks normally. And Billy D. Williams plays Bingo Long. He's based on Satchel Paige. James Earl Jones plays, my God, I can't think of his name, but his character is based on Josh Gibson. And this kid plays a character, the character's name is Esquire Joe, and he was loosely based on Jackie Robinson.
Oh, okay.
Now, the funny parts of that movie, Richard Pryor is in it, and Richard Pryor is a black player who is trying to come off as a Cuban, right?
Okay.
He greased his hair back. He had a mustache. My name is Carlos Navarro, because Cubans could play in the majors, not black. So he was saying he wasn't black, he was Cuban, which was a lie,
okay,
right?
okay.
So they go on, and I don't know. It's just, and it's in color. You know what I mean? Because, Ken, when I was young, I'll admit this to you now, I thought that life was in black and white back then. I didn't think life was in color until
I
we
agree
were
with
born,
that.
you know?
Yeah.
And I used to watch the Babe Ruth, highlights and stuff, and you never see it in color. I mean, they can colorize it now, I guess, but that's not quite the same.
Well, when they did finally colorize, remember they had that whole thing where Turner Broadcasting was colorizing everything.
Movies, yeah.
And I thought, that just doesn't look right.
Right.
It doesn't look like that's the way it was back then.
Mhm.
Because the video also, if they filmed anything back then, it was sped up because they didn't have that whole thing corrected.
Yeah.
So everything seemed faster.
All right, this is going to be just for the people in the stream. Is that okay? Can I do
Yeah,
some of
yeah,
this for people in
yeah.
the stream? Billy Crystal did a thing on that when he said when you watch those old time footage, the guys are catching
Right. Yeah. Right.
real fast. He's so right, because they were, motion pictures was in its infancy at the time.
Yeah, they couldn't calibrate it to real life very well.
So the Bingo Long Traveling All Stars and Motor Kings is in color. It's a color movie. It's 1976, and the uniforms are very colorful. They got a green and blue and yellow stripes going diagonal across the uniforms, and it was just a fun movie. And I don't know how, Ken, but it has become my favorite baseball movie. My second favorite baseball movie, by the way, is A League of Their Own.
Yeah, that's a good movie. I mean, it really was a good movie.
And I think the reason I like
half
it
the characters in it I don't like now, but
Yes, but we didn't know we didn't like them then.
No, I know, right.
But the ball that they played was real ball.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The double plays, they hit the cutoff man, you know what I mean?
Yep.
All that stuff. The barreling into the catcher at the end of the movie, right?
That, yep.
So Bingo Long was Billy D. Williams. James Earl Jones' name was Leon Carter. Richard Pryor's real name was Charlie Snow, but he wanted to go as Carlos Navarro so he could get into it. And Otis Day from Otis Day and the Knights is in it too.
Wow.
But his name wasn't that at the time. I think that was right before Animal House. It was 1976.
Yeah, it's probably right there.
So
yeah.
I'm sorry, we're getting away from here. So the Negro Leagues were great because they knew that they weren't going to get the audiences that Major League Baseball did. They would do things like minor league baseball does, right? Do you ever go to a minor league baseball game? It's so much fun.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. In fact, my daughter's down in Kentucky right now, the National Park Ranger, and she frequents their minor league team down there.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Hot dogs are cheap.
Yeah.
Right.
They have a lot of giveaways.
Yeah.
She got to throw out the first pitch in one of the games.
Perfect.
Yep.
Perfect. So the Negro Leagues had to do a lot of stuff like that, a lot of barnstorming and stuff. And finally, in 1947, I think it's April 15th, because that's the day that everybody wears number 42.
Yeah.
Every player wears number 42 on that day in honor of Jackie Robinson. And can I just say this very quickly too? When is the NBA going to wake up and celebrate Nat Sweetwater Clifton, the first black in the NBA? When are they going to wake up and do that?
They should. I think. I still think you need to write them and give them that idea.
I need to write them?
I think you need to.
You're the executive producer.
No,
Why don't you just call them and tell them?
You are the one.
Tell them to come on the show, I'm saying.
That'd be a good idea, actually. Yeah. Okay.
I said that to you about 40 times, but now it's a good idea.
No, it's a good idea. It's a good idea right now.
So anyway, tonight, Rickman Stadium, the Cardinals and the Giants are going to play.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's going to be a great tribute to Willie Mays. And when you're watching the game, just know that a lot of great Negro League games happened in that park.
Yeah.
For the Birmingham Black Barons. All right, that's all the time we have. You got to understand how far away that ball was from the plate, man.
Yeah.
Go on the internet one day, everybody, and look at an aerial shot of the Polo Grounds in New York. And then you realize what a great catch that was. And as Nate pointed out, turned around and threw the ball on a string to second base.
Amazing, yeah.
Unbelievable. All right, so we're watching the game. Hope the Cardinals win from Rickwood Field in Birmingham, Alabama. Hey, there's going to be, I hope, a presidential debate with crazy rules. And you know what? You got to give Donald Trump credit. He's like, whatever you want to do.
Yeah, he said, fine.
Whatever you want to do. And we're going to watch it with you at Johnny's Hideout in High Ridge, June 27th. Tim and Chris will be doing their show from 4 to 6 from Johnny's Hideout. Party starts at 7. Debate at 8. It's all brought to you by Freedom Principal Mo, St. Louis Young Republicans, and Agers Heating and Air Conditioning. All the information is at NewstalkSTL.com. All right, we'll be right back and close it up on 101.9 and 94.1 News Talk STL. Welcome home.
You start out with a little bit of oil, and you fry some garlic. Then you throw in some tomatoes, tomato paste. You fry it to make sure it doesn't stick. You got it to a boil. You shove in all your sausage and your meatballs, and a little bit of wine, and a little bit of sugar, and that's my trick.
The Vic Porcelli Show. Made in St. Louis for St. Louis. It's News Talk STL. News, analysis, opinion.
A jury has reached a verdict in the case of former President Donald Trump. Guilty. Trump's attorneys will appeal.
101.9 and 94.1.
Everybody knows what happened here.
News Talk STL. It's the tale of the little pill with the big story to tell. The Pfizer Broadway series presents by popular demand. For 3 nights only, it's Judeo-Christian the musical. Coming this February 29th, 30th, and 31st to the fabulous Pfizer Theater. Starring that lady in the tan pants and that guy who didn't know that his copier needed to be plugged in to work. Don't miss your chance to see this blockbuster musical. Ask for your A1C discount. It's Judeo-Christian the musical. February 29th, 30th, and 31st at the fabulous Pfizer Theater.
Hey, I'd like you to get to know Dr. Daniel Cusimano and Dr. Megan Dwyer. Those are dentists and my dental team, along with their dental team at Advanced Dentistry of St. Charles. You know, whether it's economic value with their dental savings plan and their real concern about giving you value, which is, of course, quality at a great price, or whether it's their personal values, their dedication to absolute precision. I can tell you when I go in and get my treatment there, or just a cleaning, whatever, it's always, I get this feeling, it's like laser guided precision. Well, yeah, they have lasers, but they don't do that for everything. Of course, it's the right tool for the right job. Whether it is dental implants, whether it's just general dentistry, cosmetic dentistry, and by the way, he can use some Botox in all the right ways for those applications as well. You'll find the greatest of care, the greatest value delivered with people who have real values, the values we share at Advanced Dentistry of St. Charles. Get to know them by calling 636-978-0226, 636-978-0226, or advanceddentistrynow.com. That's Advanced Dentistry of St. Charles.
Larry Connors, USA.
Hunter Biden and his artwork.
Excuse me, Hunter. Apparently you're afraid of my words. What a coward.
The art gallerist apparently claimed that one of Hunter's financial backers purchased most of his paintings for $875,000. What's this? Oh, it's a scribble, but really it's a man walking into his future and seeing his past at the same time.
You are the epitome of white privilege.
They were laundering money, and he had all of his friends coming forward to help him out.
Larry Connors, weeknights at 6 on News Talk STL.
Hey, Tony Colombo here for Gutter Pros. When Christine and I bought our new house, we knew the gutters were an issue, and after meeting the Gutter Pros team, we knew that they were right for us. Gutter Pros is your all-in-one gutter service team that offers a variety of affordable solutions, and they even offer free estimates, so there's no cost to you to find out if they are right for your home, just like they were for ours. If you're having a problem with your gutters, contact the Gutter Pros now, because with Gutter Pros, water goes where they tell it to. Call them at 314-656-7195 or visit gutterpros.com.
Fox News commentary.
More than a quarter of Americans admit to skipping meals due to Bidenflation. I'm Tommy Lahren. More next.
A violent crime is committed every 24 seconds. The U.S. Concealed Carry Association exists to provide you with firearms education, training, and access to self-defense liability insurance. So when trouble comes, you'll be ready. Over 800,000 Americans trust the USCCA, and right now, there's an exclusive, limited-time offer for radio listeners. Go to defendfamily.com to get a free family defense guide, a survival secrets training video from a retired FBI agent, and see all the benefits of membership. Go to defendfamily.com now.
the kind of reality we're used to hearing about in third world countries, skipping meals due to the unaffordability of food. But guess what? It's happening right here in America under Joe's crushing Bidenomics. A survey by Qualtrics on behalf of Intuit Credit Karma found that more than a quarter of Americans admit to skipping meals due to high grocery prices. It's not just shocking, it's sad. The survey revealed 80% of Americans have felt a notable increase in grocery prices in recent years. Nearly a third also report being forced to spend about 60% of their monthly income on mandatory expenses like food, rent, and utilities. The poll also showed 44% of respondents feel financially unstable, and the worst off are those in low-earning households. This should not be the case in the United States of America. It's one thing not to be able to afford luxury items, but to struggle to put food on the table, it doesn't have to be this way. I'm Tomi Lahren, and you can watch my show, Tomi Lahren is Fearless at Outkick.com.
Talk lines are open now at 314-912-1019. The Vic Porcelli Show.
There's always have been compelling value sets to business of America. One of those value sets is revenge and retribution.
Made in St. Louis for St. Louis. It's News Talk STL.
What you're doing is stimulating the market. You're pumping money into the economy. And Jay Powell's over here beavering away trying to reduce inflation. And you're beavering away trying to increase it by paying
that we're doing
an interest rate that is 100 basis points higher than you would have to pay. And the only way reason I can figure that y'all are doing that is to try to give the economy a sugar high 5 months before an election. Why else would anybody want to borrow at 5% when you can borrow at 4%?
Huh. I wonder why.
That makes sense.
You know, John Kennedy has such a way. That was Senator John Kennedy from Louisiana. He has a way, because he's a very funny guy, right? Very witty guy. But he has a way to use that wit to make a great point. Why would you want to borrow money at 5% when you can wait until after the election and borrow it at 4%?
Exactly. You know? And this particular clip that I had to cut it down to that from like 7 minutes. He was talking to Janet Yellen, and he was trying to get from her, why are you doing this? Why are you, when you could easily be actually taking the American taxpayers' money and giving up less of it by doing it at 4% than 5%. He went way, way in the weeds, Vic, but the bottom line is they're spending just an extra $80 billion a year just to make this happen before the election.
Yep. And you've talked about many times that Fox News is not what they once were.
Not at all.
And yesterday I was watching, I was waiting for Gutfeld to come on, and I see a promo, and the voiceover says, tomorrow, a Janet Yellen exclusive. Like it was like the celebration of Janet Yellen. And guess whose show she's going to be on?
Neil Cavuto.
Neil Cavuto.
What a wuss.
And so we were thinking of a new feature we could do, or maybe rename. Right. What are you laughing at? It's coming.
It's a good name, right?
Maybe rename the show and have this guy with the big voice say, and now Fox presents Little Bitches. And you know what inspired that?
What?
When Paul Ryan was on the show.
Yeah.
And he was saying, that Trump is dangerous, and, I would never vote for Trump, and blah, blah, blah. And of course, Neil Cavuto hates Trump too, and because he's never Trumper. And it just reminded me, I said, well, this show should be called Little Bitches.
Two little bitches.
Two little bitches sitting in a tree. And now this Janet Yellen promo, I swear to God, it makes it sound like she's going out on a rock and roll tour.
Oh, yeah.
Janet Yellen exclusive. Today on Little Bitches.
It just reminds me that Fox News has always been part of the corporate media.
Yeah,
they have. I mean, they advertise. Pfizer advertises on them as well. So
Well, Ken, we try to be the opposite of that.
We do.
We in the very most important way. We are not that. We are not corporate radio at all.
At all. We're independent. Yep.
18 people. That's it. That's our entire corporation is 18 people. 18 hardworking people who just want to get the truth out there. And nobody telling us what to say or what to do.
And nobody does tell us, except for when, like, for example, maybe once in a while, our fearless leader, Jeff, would sit us down and say, you went a little far there.
I got the feeling he's going to say that about the last 2 minutes of the show, be honest.
But that's okay.
That's fine. And you know what? We take it. It doesn't tell us what to say politically. He's like, hey, let's not, risk the license. And, don't be too stupid.
That's what I'm talking about.
So, but Ken and I, too, I think we really try to tell you the truth. Ken does an unbelievable job at getting enough information to do a marathon 8-week show. We're supposed to squeeze into 2 hours. And so, since the 8 to 10 slot is now free of Never Trumper,
right?
They decided to put a replay every day of this show in between 8 and 10. You got anything to kind of highlight that?
Oh,
I swear to God, I didn't drink this morning.
Jim did us well.
Jim Osmond again.
Big song in the day and big song in the night. No big song in the air when there's no light. You're hearing Vic at night. Vic at night.
Vic at night.
Yeah, there are different renditions of this.
We had a great one yesterday too. Jim Osmond, our unbelievable creative director here at the station, and it's humbling to me that they would think to play our show. And those two. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby.
I figured you'd like that version.
Sing it, baby. New Talk STL sounds like a Wilson Pickett, James Brown kind of a mix there. So good. I mean,
it's this show on Vic at Night from 8 to 10.
So can I just say that you're gonna see little cartoons and memes and stuff about Vic at Night. Nick Schroer, who, he's a busy guy. He's a senator.
Yeah, he's always going, always.
He's always fighting for freedom. Like he's got nothing else to do. He makes these little cartoons of me and Ken. If you go to our stream right now, you'll see something that he made. The clock that says November 5th, because November 5th is coming. Can you put the other one up there?
Yeah, it's almost there. There it is.
Another one has a couple things I want to point out. It's got Vic and Ken as Revolutionary War soldiers.
Right.
You love this. And it says freedom fighters. And another thing that because I'm 12 years old, on the stream right now, if you look in the right window, you'll see the Cat in the Hat sitting on the windowsill, sitting in front of a microphone.
Yes, he's actually talking once in a while, and we don't even know it.
I wonder if he has something to say that we should let him say something. I love our stream. Our stream is fun. Like the show is fun.
Yeah. And it's thanks to you for listening. I mean, you're the ones who drive it, whether it's on the stream or if it's on the terrestrial radio station. I mean,
exactly.
Get the phone app. Like as Vic always says, your phone is your radio now.
That's right.
And one click and you're there.
It's a magic trick before your very ears.
Right.
Okay. Can we check the chat box for a little bit? Have a little fun in the chat box, Ken?
Yeah, let's do that. Let me find that thing.
Hold on, I screwed up all my thing too. We really should show up for rehearsal once in a while.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. So 40 gram battery says Geiger counter. It really is a Geiger counter, but I use it as a smoochometer.
Yeah, I shouldn't have revealed that, I guess.
Well, I think I honestly I thought it was pretty obvious. I thought that was part of the joke,
Yeah.
That everybody knows it would be a Geiger counter.
Oh, you can hear it.
That's a smoochometer. If that goes off, I know my daughter and her boyfriend are smooching in the kitchen, which I don't like. Don't care for at all.
Well, you're a dad.
Of course.
And they're not married, right?
They are not. Sorry. That was Brothers of the Heart doing Daddy sang bass.
Oh, okay.
I agree. Screw you. That's what Nate said. He said, screw you. He also said, have I been banned? Why 40 grand battery? Why would you be banned? Ed Stoit. Wow, Trump reads so well. He's so brainless. He should challenge Joe to read at the debate. Oh my God.
Hey Joe, can you read here, Joe? Here's two sentences. Can you put them together?
Here's the snake poem. Why don't you read that? Joe?
Oh. Then I don't know if they have enough time.
Hold on. Keep the music up.
Okay.
Remember my if I could consult Donald Trump. Remember for this debate,
right,
was when it's Joe's turn to talk. Just cross your arms, sit back, and let Joe hang himself.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I have another bit of of advice for Donald Trump. When Joe Biden says something that clearly is not English, like "Where's the pressure" and all that stuff, Donald Trump can say, "I'm sorry, can you say that again? I missed what you said."
Say it exactly like you just
Can
did.
you just repeat it exactly?
Right.
Wouldn't
That's
that
a
be
good
great?
idea. Yeah.
Story reminds me of the illegal invader Venezuelan flipping America off as he was released from jail
in New York
by A-hole Bragg and Company. Let's just call him Fat Alvin.
Yeah.
That was the guy that beat up the cop.
That would, yes.
One of the guys that beat up the cop.
Right.
The chat might be broken. Chat is not broken. 40 grand battery. You just stop it. Vic, you got in trouble. Uh-oh. Don't you cuss on this here radio, it said. And then he says, FCC. Don't be calling the FCC on. That's what you guys doing, man. Leave us alone. Let us curse on this here radio. Sorry. Or that. All right, let's go to the wait, why is this Facebook thing messing me up?
Is it broken? Is it broken?
It's not broken. I got it. Everybody shut up. Shelly says, so happy you guys found Rudy. He was geebing.
Badly.
Bad geebing.
He was geebing badly.
I think last night was kind of a revelation night for my wife and I, that we just make up our own language besides saying things that only we know.
Yeah.
We're saying, you know.
Right.
Like when something goes wrong, but you have a plan B. In my house, you say, fortunately, I keep my feathers numbered for just such an emergency.
Yeah.
That's what we say. I listened to Vic at Night Tuesday. Thank you for doing this. I look forward to keeping up with you when I work during the school year. That's from Jackie Buckley. Jackie, thank you so much.
Yeah, there was a little bit of an issue last night, but it'll be fine tonight.
What was the issue?
It went off the air for some reason.
What?
There was some kind of weird thing that happened, but it's fine now.
Sabotage.
Yeah, pretty much.
My kid hit 651 in a select baseball league.
No way.
When he was 14. He wasn't allowed in the majors either. Does his numbers count?
They banned him.
Okay, but
he was so good.
You see the point he's making?
What?
Which I knew people were going to say this. He's saying, why did they combine stats with the Negro League? And because he's saying, my kid hit 651. Is my kid's name going to go in the book? Because the Negro Leagues were not the major leagues. He brings up a good point.
No, that's a good point.
I'm not sure I'm 100% behind this.
Right.
And if they are, and there's got to be asterisks in there that says, well, did it in the Negro League.
And we got to be careful not to politicize this whole thing. I mean, that I get it. I understand what they're saying, and some of it I agree with, but we just got to make sure we don't politicize it.
Am I doing that?
No, I'm saying we all should not.
There's something else that I want to bring up, Ken, in detail. Even medicine is Republican or Democrat.
Yeah.
Even how we take care of ourselves.
Yep.
KJP hired for that position is insulting to us. You're absolutely right. Better than what was on. I have to listen tonight. Got to get caught up at work. Vic at Night, the gift that just keeps on giving. Yeah, if you miss a little bit during the day, then you can always hear it again, 8 to 10 every night on Vic at Night. All right, Ken, I think that's it, man. I have nothing else. Do you have anything else?
Nope.
We did the snake poem. We played Joe Biden singing, if you don't want to vote for me or Trump, you ain't black. We got to play that again tomorrow, too. That was good. Thank you so much for having the record player on at night to listen to us this morning.
Make sure you have the record player on at night.
That was on a debate. When he said that, that was during a debate.
Yeah.
That's not a cheap fake. That's what he said.
That's what
I
he
watched
said,
it
word
live.
for word.
All right. Dan Bongino is next. Kenny and I will see you tomorrow at 9 on 101.9 and 94.1 News Talk STL. Welcome home.
Whoosh.
Feel the sizzling heat of summer savings at Side & Sugar Novi Partners. Rev up your summer on a John Deere compact tractor with 0% financing for 84 months with zero down. Or get 0% financing for 60 months with additional savings. It's time to elevate your equipment game. Don't let this sizzling hot deal slip away. Side & Sugar Novi, your partner for the land.
Offer valid through 7/26/2024. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
I have a personal story about why I trust McGuire Moving and Storage. A relative needed to escape an unhealthy relationship. Josh, Christine, and the McGuire team were understanding, even comforting. That's why I'm honored to endorse McGuire. Since 1935, McGuire's been moving and caring for families. So, moving a home, office, local, or long distance, McGuireMoving.com. McGuireMoving.com.
Are you concerned about the future of America, the economy, the courts, threats to our freedoms? Tim Jones here. Join News Talk STL for Saving America 2024, June 25th at the St. Charles Funny Bone. Hear from renowned experts Joel Griffith and Zach Smith of the Heritage Foundation as they analyze the critical issues facing our nation and provide insight into securing America's prosperity. Secure your tickets now at NewstalkSTL.com before they sell out.
Brought to you by West and Mid-Rivers News Magazines and the St. Louis Young Republicans.
KLGY HD3 Clayton, K270BW Belfast, KNVS Bowling Green. This is News Talk STL at 1019, 94.1, and always streaming at NewstalkSTL.com.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm John Scott. Tropical weather is bringing rain and flooding to the Gulf Coast.
Tropical storm Alberto, the first named storm of the season, is rumbling toward northeast Mexico, carrying heavy rains to a drought-stricken region, but also the threat of mudslides at higher elevations. The National Hurricane Center discontinued its tropical storm warning in Texas, but it remains in effect south of the mouth of the Rio Grande to Tecolutla, Mexico. In Corpus Christi, Texas, water lapped at the base of the city's art museum, and in Galveston, residents were waiting to check on flooded cars. Storm surge and swells were affecting the western Gulf Coast. Sustained winds of 50 miles an hour are expected to dissipate as Alberto heads inland. I'm Jennifer King.
Heavy rain and hail falling around the evacuated village of Ruidoso, New Mexico, threatened by wildfires that have killed now at least 2 people and damaged more than 1,400 structures, offering hope to firefighters there, but adding the threat of high winds and flash floods. Also at townhall.com, the number of Americans applying for unemployment benefits slipped last week. The Labor Department reporting that jobless claims fell by 5,000 to 238,000. The Supreme Court has upheld a tax on foreign income over a challenge backed by business and anti-regulatory interest. Haya Panjwani has more.
The justices, by a vote of 7-2, left in place a provision of a 2017 tax law that is expected to generate $340 billion, mainly from domestic corporations that park money abroad to shield it from the U.S. taxes. The law was passed by a Republican Congress and signed by then-President Donald Trump. The case attracted outsized attention because it might have led to a decision that would have doomed a wealth tax. Haya Panjwani, Washington.
On Wall Street, stocks are mixed. The Dow is ahead 75 points, but the NASDAQ losing 20 points. More at townhall.com.
Government debt is now exploding by an unprecedented $1 trillion every 90 days. Think of that. It's a clear sign that our nation's finances are spinning out of control, and it's putting the savings of every one of you at risk. Hello, I'm Lance Wallnow, a news analyst and best-selling author and an evangelical leader. I'm deeply concerned about the impact this runaway debt is going to have on Christians like you who have worked hard to build your own nest egg for your family. To protect your financial future in these uncertain times, you need to diversify with something tangible and proven, like physical gold. That's why I recommend a gold IRA. To learn more, text FAITH to the number 989898, and my friends at Birch Gold Group will rush you a free info kit on how to move your IRA or 401k to physical precious metals, tax and penalty-free. So don't wait. Just text the word FAITH to 989898 to get your free info kit on gold IRAs. Birch Gold Group is the only company I trust. There's no obligation. So text FAITH to 989898, and I pray this information helps you.
From the Michael's Flooring Outlet Weather Center.
Summer officially begins this afternoon, and we are bringing some summer solstice sizzle up to about 96 this afternoon with a top heat index of 99. Mostly sunny skies, a sticky evening too. We won't drop back below 90 until around 7 o'clock tonight, and then down to 76 early Friday. Now Friday and Saturday look even hotter as highs inch closer to 100. Top heat index jumps to 103. Got some rain and storms quick in and quick out on Sunday morning. That's your first alert forecast. I'm meteorologist Matt Chambers.
This hour of News Talk STL is brought to you by Rodney and Jen Wallner and the entire Wallner home selling team at Berkshire Hathaway. Call them today at 314-810-SOLD. 314-810-SOLD.
Hi, I'm Rodney Wallner.
And I'm Jen Wallner with the Wallner Home Selling Team at Berkshire Hathaway.
Hey, Jen, how do you sell your home for top dollar?
That's easy. Call the Wallner Home Selling Team at 314-810-SOLD.
What if I want a flexible commission plan?
Call the Wallner Home Selling Team at 314-810-SOLD.
What's the best time to sell your home?
Right now, call the Wallner Home Selling Team at 314-810-SOLD.
For all your real estate needs, call the Wallner Home Selling Team at 314-810-SOLD.
That's 314-810-SOLD.
In the fast-paced world of digital marketing, making connections is a challenge for any business. But what if we told you there is a place where connections aren't just made, they're grown? E2060 Digital, your premier Google partner and top-tier digital agency. We don't just follow trends, we set them. At 2060 Digital, we're not just another agency. We're your strategic partner. We dive deep into your challenges and develop solutions that drive measurable outcomes. Ready to elevate your digital presence with campaigns that connect? Google 2060 Digital today.
Do you own a timeshare? Well, face the facts. You made a mistake. You made a bad purchase. A timeshare is not an investment. It's a money pit that continues forever. If you use your timeshare, that's great. But if you don't, and you want to legally get out of your contract, call my friends right now at the Timeshare Exit Hotline. They're an experienced team of lawyers who help good people like you get out of a timeshare contract that they just don't want. Don't throw away your money on maintenance fees. Use it for things you really want. We can help you end your timeshare contract and stop the money drain immediately. If you are ready to move on with your timeshare, call our team right now.
Cancel your timeshare now with this free call. 800-524-1641. 800-524-1641. 800-524-1641. That's 800-524-1641.
St. Louis's new choice for conservative talk.
What citizen wouldn't want to make America great again?
Live and local.
You lose your Dixon Notch. Yeah. You lost America. I saw it etched on coins up here.
This is News Talk STL. News, analysis, opinion. News Talk STL.
From the NYPD to the Secret Service to behind the microphone, taking the fight to the radical left and the putrid swamp. You're listening to the Dan Bongino Show. Here he is, Dan Bongino.
Jim, how you feeling today? Doing all right? Feeling great. Yeah, man. Me too. Any of you happen to catch the podcast? I'm kind of a mood today. A little bit. Just a little bit. Jim, a little bit? A little bit. Why? You know why I was in a mood? Do you have any idea? Why? What was it? What happened? Oh, that. I forgot about that. Yeah. So listen, this is really important, this conversation we're going to have. You ready? No, I mean, it's really important. If you were looking for, say you were let's put some money in this, right, Jim? Whenever you mention money, right, people really put some money in this, skin in the game. Say you were a gambler, and you're like a degenerate gambler. You're looking for inside information. I mean, you can't stop gambling. It's just one of these things like you gamble on anything, your kid's baseball game, right? Just play the game for a minute. And you were looking for some inside info on, say, a basketball game you were going to bet. Jim, do you think it would be a good idea if you had some leverage over, say, the coach of one of the teams, and the coach said,